Hello, good sir. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to help you any way that I can. And I'm going to give you a quick snapshot. We've never spoken before. I want to give you a blind review and spend about 30 minutes or so to just go through what I think can help you with your resume. As you can see, I think we've redacted all of your information here. So, one of the first things I see in this resume is you may be more experienced than what I'm seeing here. You have manager role. You have a lot of stuff going on. 2014, this is a little bit older. So this is still on your resume. So this is a good thing. And now let me check offline here and see some information. Yeah, so this one of the good things about a lot of your position, and I don't know why this is redacted. Sorry about that, but you have good longevity in a lot of your positions. But one of the confusing things I see here is you're associating computer science. What is this work history? It's the first thing I'm seeing on your resume, which leads me to believe either you're working in a school setting, but it doesn't give me any information IT security specialist experience. So I'm going to automatically be like, oh, he must be a data entry person or, someone. And again, most recruiters are not looking at that second job yet. They're looking at that first bulk of what you've given them. So you're an associate in a computer science. This doesn't look like work history. This looks more like college history. And looking at your resume, I think that makes sense. But you don't want to put that in your work history. This is something that we want to put in our education status and kind of put this here. If this is your last position, that is 100% okay. But what I think we can do is make a little bit more in depth understanding of where you're at. Because once I see this position or your resume, I kind of think, wait, maybe did he just graduate yesterday? But I don't know because there's no education history here. So it's a little confusing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is, as a agency recruiter, I'm just going to move on. Unfortunately, that's the worst thing I could say, but that is the fact of the matter. Is that the second I see this resume, I'm like, you know what? He might be able to do what I need, but I don't see it yet. So next candidate, because you have 30 seconds to explain to them who you are and what you can do. And while that sucks, that's for agency recruiters, people that are like trying to find candidates right now for an opportunity. And then they're competing with 20 other agencies or whatever it might be. For a perm role, or when you hand somebody your resume, the first page, I'm going to think this guy's a college student. And that I don't think that's true. I think you have a lot of experience. You have this position right here, which you should be showcasing a little bit better than what you have right there. So, first thing I would do, and I'm going to create a resume for you and send that over to you right away. So, if you are, let's say you're still in, you're still in school, that doesn't matter. But don't showcase that because I know what you're trying to do is show, or at least when I see this resume, never speaking to you before, I immediately see, okay, they're in school trying to show this off as work experience, maybe because they don't have experience since or work since 2019. And that sometimes confuses the person in front of you. So, what you might want to do is put at the very beginning, change this into, work history is out here, goes to the bottom right here, or goes underneath this. And then you can start to highlight projects that you're doing, personal projects, Python development. Let's see. So, some of the things that popped up on screen, we'll see if we can get that covered. But that's okay. Make sure it's not on that screen right there that you can see. Nope, you can't see it. I can. Okay. So, first thing that I would do is kind of put your work history history here. Again, we're going to take all this information out. So we have that's deleted. And the reason why, because you have the bullet points and you have some experience here that I think is very good, because you have here, you know, monitored networking servers, application outages, trained over 200 personnel on policies, regulations, and communication security. You know, that's an important protocol where what was the reason why you were doing that? You know, and who were you helping? You know, assisted the HR department. That's another little bit of, oh, okay, he works with HR. You know, a little bit more in depth, a little bit more detail in exactly what's going on. And I think the same thing goes here. Built sales facing security training program to highlight security as a revenue driving feature that led to sales deals. Were you working in this? Was that just you and somebody else? Were you working with a manager specifically? Worked with sales director? Showing a little bit more seniority in that, hey, I work with higher level people. I'm not just, you know, someone that works with an assistant, or, you know, another thing here, led software migration project to response time regarding request for proposal, and led to 30K a year of savings while decreasing workload and increasing revenue. The next button you can put on the bottom is, so let's see here. So taking your actual resume, so we'll do that. Delete, perfect. So we have your actual resume here. So what you can do is lead software migration or director of engagement team, or lead engagement team. Again, showing there's that hierarchy of like, hey, this is who I worked with. I worked with these level of people. If it was a CEO or anything like that. And again, this is not your work history. I don't think it is. I could be wrong. You could work there, but I don't see that. You know, once I get there, I would be like, oh, okay. And then you really don't need that. Unless if you wanted to keep that and you wanted to show like I built a Python program to automate competition scores and blah 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 blah, and then maybe, you know, you had a link here, GitHub link for scripts slash personal projects. That's going to help somebody that's going to see that and say, oh, okay, well, he's got this other experience, security engagement specialist. Like, these are key things that I need. And now, oh, he's in school. Oh, okay. He's furthering his education. That's going to be important. Now, if there's anything else that we can put in top from 2019 on to now, if you're like, Sean, I've never worked. I don't have, I've been in school, or I'm injured, I have things that are going on, then what we can do is volunteer, intern. We can put information here where assisted. If you have a friend or a family member that you've helped build websites for, then we change this to, and it was for free, doesn't matter. We're not here to lie about our capabilities. We're not here to tell them like, hey, I built a website that you've never built. But we're putting here in a story so that they know that from 2019 to current, there was freelance, built 5 websites with point of POS systems, integrated sites with Salesforce or, you know, Shopify. And now these can be all personal projects that give a little bit of understanding of your capabilities. Now, there's a lot that we can talk about. Unfortunately, I think this is going to be a shorter video because your resume has a lot of good stuff on here. So going back, but the problem is it's the time frame, and that first bit right here, it confused me right away. As a recruiter, I'd immediately be like, oh, this is a college student. Next. I'm looking for someone with experience, and I'm missing all of this. Like right here, increase deployment success by 15% while reducing labor costs by 10%. Those are good numbers. Now, we don't know what the overall budget is. What is that 10%? You're giving me good information here, but I don't know what that means. But it's okay because the company you worked for. To me, that's like, oh, you made a big move. 15% success rate, cut costs by 10% for that type of company in that time frame. That's really good. And another thing that's really good about your resume is showcasing that when you get a job, you stay there for a decent amount of time. You're not what they would call a job jumper. So those are good things that we can showcase, but those fall away really fast because of that first bit here in that work history. So looking through, again, a lot of the good information here. Handled telecommunications for over 900 locations, outsourced telecommunication management for over 100K per year, or digital fax solution, things like that. Those are good key indicators. But I think the first thing that we got to do is fix up this hit. Like, what have you been doing since 2019? And we can build a story. If you haven't been working, then let's include some personal projects in there. Let's include some links to GitHub repositories. Let's include, opportunities where if you've been working call centers or just doing what you would consider just jobs, things that don't help your career, well, that's okay. Then we still need to see that on there, because if we don't, we're going to assume that you haven't worked since 2019. And that's going to hurt you more than saying, hey, I was doing XYZ with a company where I was doing, chat communications for a credit card company and doing customer service. I'd rather see that than see this. Because now current, if you're working here, if this is a job that you have as a advisor or something of that sort, then we need to up this experience and really show that. President of this club utilized Excel to organize events for 100 players. Did you do any type of IT stuff to help that, or anything of that sort that can really amplify your help? So I think, again, short video, but at least this gives you an idea of exactly some of the immediate things that we can talk about. If you need, we can have a 30-minute conversation, go through your resume, and go through the beginning experience of, what's the next step for you, and how can I assist in, helping that work history kind of develop a little bit better. All right. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Really appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to provide any help that I can. And like I said, this is just one video. We can have multiple conversations and kind of go through. This was just a completely blind look at a resume. And this is just my initial thoughts. So I could be completely off the mark, but that's good. Because if I am, then we can work on getting back to what do you need in order to help yourself. So I really appreciate it. Any questions, concerns, leave some comments in the video. I'll look forward to it, and have a wonderful day.